once you got into composing for film and TV, you said in your bio, it said you had a lot to learn. And this was interesting to me. You said specifically, there's a lot of psychology you need to understand when working in film composing. And I would love you to elaborate on that.
I mean, because there's so much of it about that's about communication and yeah, being able to listen, but it's also what's not being said, and being able to read the person. I'm talking about, the director, or it can be the producers. Um, yeah, I mean, mostly these are the people I would mostly have to have conversations with, you know. And and it's funny because I kind of laugh when I think of that, because I'm not someone. How can I put it? Okay, so when I think of the years when I first started scoring, um, my communication skills weren't like, they were very, very poor, and it wasn't great at all. And it's something that took a while for me to get better and work on it. It's still a work in progress. It's crazy, but that's why I love opportunities like these, and podcasts and interviews. I try to, I cherish them. I cherish them. I want to take them as opportunities to work on my skills. So thank you for that.
Dude, your
Um,
communication skills are great now. I don't know what they
I don't
were
know.
like in the past, but we got along pretty
Yeah,
damn good.
I mean, because it can be really intimidating in that business, you know? I'm sure you know,
Hmm.
like, when you first have to sit at a table with a bunch of producers, director, they they always seem to come in a group, It's always like a group of people. They like to be
Yeah.
like, and then they meet the artist. They always kind of use that term, like the artist, the musician, and as if we were like completely different species, It's like,
Dude, that is
yeah,
great that the way you said that. Yeah.
yeah. And then at first it was intimidating, and I had a problem with that. I was very nervous at meetings, and uh, whenever we would watch films together, and people would like comment on the film, and I'd be like, oh my God, what am I supposed to say or do? Or like, um, and also, I mean, I don't know if it's a general thing. Maybe it's only here in Quebec, or maybe it's only on certain projects. But like, it's they the musician is like I was saying, a different species. It's a different. It's almost like you're not part of the project, and you come in later in the process, and then everybody's like talking big things, and like, oh, you should cut that scene, this, that, oh well, and but you're invited to that session, and you're just questioning, like, do they want me to say anything? Do they,
Right.
do they
Like, are
trust
you
me
supposed
to
to
make
respond to any of that or offer
yeah,
any?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would think so. I would think that anybody from outside is would be welcome to give like a fresh, you know, um,
Perspective.
perspective on the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, thank you. Um, like, even not a musician, just someone walking outside, whatever. Um, but then again, they really know what they're doing, and and to I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because I know they have so much shit to think about, making a film, and there's so many cooks, and it's like, yeah, um,
That's
you know,
really
you can't,
interesting.
yeah, yeah. But anyways, now I approach it very differently, and this is something that, you know, I would attribute simply to confidence, and building confidence, and then at some point I was like, well, what the hell? I'm here. I'm not just gonna sit and not say anything and be a ghost. Like, and I'm a musician. I'm part of this. I decide that I'm part of this, and
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 they've decided that you're part of this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, so and music is important. A film, a TV show, a project to me, anyways.
It's
So
critical.
I'm gonna come in with that attitude that
Good.
I'm as important, as all of you, and I'm entitled to make my comments, and you do whatever you want with them. But so, and it's been working great for me
Awesome.
since, yeah. But I also know when not to talk. It's important to, yeah. It's all that stuff. So going back to communication and
Yeah, psychology.
this
Yeah.
this is what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's what
So
I meant.
let's say someone's new and like just getting into music licensing, right? What would you suggest to them as far as like when they're with people that are in that situation to
Yeah,
interject or to just shut up in the beginning and just learn? Or what would you suggest?
yeah. I think it's a matter of just trying to gauge, like, and also it's like you have these different meetings. Some of them you don't have to be so loud. You can kind of just stay in the back. It's not so much for you. And then certain meetings, it's more about the creatives are there, and you should take part in that. But the best is just to have, for me, like throughout the years, I've developed some relationships with directors, and now it's like you don't get to meet them so much. Everything is email and Zoom and stuff like that. But you still have to meet up, and so at some point, and it's good to be less people and just be one on one with the director is always very precious. I love these meetings, and it makes a big difference for everything.
Yeah, it's intimidating when you have a crowd, especially when you're young. It's so funny. Most of my guests are over 40 or even over 50, right? And number one thing, if I'll say, what's the biggest change that's happened? It's basically some version of I give less fucks, right? Like I'm just more confident. I don't care. And I'm just myself. So there's some of that is just getting older and being more experienced in what you're doing. And like having that, you mentioned that word confidence. I think that's a big, huge thing.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, but it's not something I take for granted. Like I'm still learning every day, and
Oh yeah.
it's still something, you know, you can get a lot of surprises on the way too. You just, yeah, you just have to be aware, and also not be overconfident. Of course, you want to. Also,
Definitely.
you have to be nice. You have to be kind, and yeah,
Dude, I think that's rule number one, actually.
yeah,
In any kind
yeah.
of interpersonal conversations, you got to be nice, man, because like I don't care who you are or how talented you are at anything. If you're an asshole, it's just like it's so off-putting, and it's like everything goes downhill from there. I agree with you 100% on that, man.
Right
Yeah, that's your
on.
first thing. Yeah, it's funny when I was younger. When I wasn't confident, I used to try to prove myself. I used to talk extremely fast. Now, part of that is just growing up in New York City, but part of it was I read something one day and it said people who speak fast are trying to prove themselves. And I thought about it and I said, you know what? That's me. I'm trying to prove myself. And I said, I really don't need to do that. So I need to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I try to speak fast, but I can't do it.
I think it's good if you don't speak fast, to tell you the
With the
truth,
the
man.
kid, like there's so many like stories and like stories, I mean like posts and stuff like that. You have to cram like so much information in like 30 seconds or like less than that even for a story. Can't do it.
Yeah.
I just have my own pace. I have to edit after
Yeah. That's all,
and
man.
cut all the dead space and stuff.